Heavy metals is in the food we eat. It's in the
It's
air we're
in
breathing. Like,
everything.
so the more we are conscious of
It's even in the
the
air.
negative energies that come in, the poisons and toxins that are in our relationships, in our foods, in our everything that we do, we begin. I know I am on a journey that I can't stop. Is why veganism came into my life. Why I would ever like consider drinking water that's not fluoridated or full of toxins. Why I clean my body like so there it's funny because there I only knew of modalities I learned healing modalities I had learned in India, so I see why that was just another way to like clean out the organs, clean out the system every day of toxins and make sure that my body is properly digesting, because if it's congested in any way physically or energetically, it's not going to work. I've learned that too just not too long ago. It's going to make your body work at its best. The number one most powerful thing is our body. Our body is capable of cleaning itself, healing
Yeah.
itself, but we have to give it the best so that it's like if we don't put gas in the car, it's an amazing vehicle to get us somewhere, but if we put contaminated gas in it, it's barely going to lurch down the road. But if you give it the right fuel and you keep it clean and you give it checkups and make sure the oil, it's going to get you where you need to go much more efficiently. So living a daily life, cleansing ourselves energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mindset shifts, all of this, all the stuff that we get
Hmm.
to be a small part of that for people, or a big part.
I watched a YouTube yesterday. You might be interested in this. Goodbye to lupus, and
Wow.
this girl had terrible lupus, or the effects of lupus from the time she was like 12. So she ended up going to college. She became a doctor, but she married a doctor that went further along the line as far as nutrition. But basically, she eats, I want to say, like 3 pounds a day of greens, and mostly in the blender. So she blends kale and all the things and drinks it. She's a plant, but I see I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've always been a meat eater, but now I'm just kind of turned off by meat lately. I've never been a big fish person, which is where mercury comes from. So you would think I was eating the can and the tuna, and I'm not. Um, but it said stay away from anything that's grain fed, which you always hear grain fed beef's the best and all the things. So when I get home, I will get, I don't know about kale, but whatever, I will talk to you because I need to figure out and just, I always said I would never drink anything green. I could just imagine having like in my teeth the string from the celery and just drinking something green. It just is so gross to me. And I love candy and chocolate and all the things that are terrible for me. So I've just got to do it. But this girl has this program, Goodbye Lupus, and she follows people for 6 weeks, like basically, I guess, gives them what to eat, and they're healed. Like their bodies are
Wow.
healing from lupus and from, all the things that go with lupus. So I just think that for myself, that's a gift I need to give myself. I've gotten some of the heavy load off now, and I think that it's only fair to give my body a chance to be fully well, fully healed
I
in
love
all
that.
areas of life. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool journey. Do you eat meat today?
I do, yeah, I do eat
You
meat,
do? So
vegetables, but recently stopped eating like anything deep fried.
yeah, I don't eat fried. I just eat.
I
I
love it
love
though.
steak. Yeah, I love steak. I like steak.
And we are physical, spiritual, emotional beings. So when that's in best balance, of course. So, but also big giving grace and taking one thing at a time that really is on your heart. So when something floods in, then maybe that's the right timing. The health of America is big fail. Don't follow us. The world wants to follow us. Don't follow us, right? My kids are closer to college, whatever age. They're in their late 20s now, but they have friends going through medical schools. Zero is taught about nutrition in medical school. And every other country
Zero.
knows that if you don't eat food like medicine, you're going to have to take medicine like food.
Wow.
If you don't take food like
that.
medicine, Ayurvedic medicine is food medicine. Everyone knows that's connected to the earth what we are supposed to be eating and not eating. We've lost that completely in America. But our food has to be our medicine, and food is grown and perfectly made for our bodies if eaten correctly. Otherwise, you'll just end up taking medicine like food at some point, and that's exactly our culture. So when you start living in other places, you find out, like, again, how much we're not knowing here. So yeah, just as we slowly begin to learn, we slowly get the opportunity to live a healthier, more energetic lifestyle. I've never had so much energy. That lightness of life is both physical, because there's a lot of physical things I've gotten to do over the years, spiritual and emotional, all of it. Just got to do huge emotional work with you guys last podcast. And just every bit that we can contribute like that. Oh my gosh. When I learned about like the blood diamonds, if you watch that movie, just the abuse of the people. Africa, one of the poorest countries because it's so corrupt. The slavery that has to dig diamonds out of the earth free. That God made the diamonds. Who owns them? Why someone gets to claim that, I don't know. But from that day forward, I was like, oh, I never knew that. I will never buy it. When you can have artificial diamonds and an expert can't tell that it's been lab grown, oh my gosh. And then for whatever reason, there was a million other things I thought I wanted to do first. I was like, oh, that's over for me. Over. That's it. So when Jim, was looking at marrying me, I was like, I would never want another real diamond in all my life. Thank you. And he never buys me leather, anything. There's so many wonderful things made of purses, shoes. It's like, it's funny. Like, I would have never said I was going to be this person. Never. It's just, it wasn't me anyways. It was that the inspiration came from something else, right?
Especially for health. I want to experience life lightheartedly, without a bedside table full of prescriptions. I just don't want that for myself. And now even, and I don't know where this is coming from, but yesterday I took a bite of chocolate and I was like, is this chocolate serving me? I've never asked myself if anything.
Wow, Victoria, what is happening?
Like, I have lost my mind, y'all. So I looked at the chocolate. I was like, that's not serving me. And I was sick about it, eating that bite of chocolate. I was like, that's not serving me at all. It's full of sugar. It's full of this. It's full of that. So I've never had that mindset. So something definitely has happened to flip the script with me on that. Definitely.
It's just a lot of information to take in today.
Tadao, are we like scaring you?
Wow.
Spirituality to veganism. I'm like, I'm not against it. I just want you to know. I'm not being judgmental. I just don't have any information around the area. So like, I cannot talk about anything. But Debbie, I wanted to ask, like, what's your daily practice to like detox or cleanse?
Good question.
I'm interested in that. Yeah, thank you for asking. What I learned in India, they're called panchakarmas, I believe is the right way to say it. I love the message behind it all, but like upon waking, we wake up brand new. Without getting into it too much, but when you fall asleep, your subtle bodies actually leave your body and come back to it upon wake up. So that's another topic for another day. But so you're truly waking up new, and if you even just want to think about that as like a way to set your mind for the day, it's like you are brand new. If you can look at everything in the present moment, you haven't been this person before, because every day you change and grow, right? I'm a new person and the life will look differently. I should look at my husband like I don't know him, because I don't. And I should let him show me who he is and fall in love with him all over again, like that 52 first dates or whatever.
That's
doing
beautiful.
The day like you've never seen it before is how you to approach. But before that ever happens, Also cleaning the body. So there's a whole nother thing about digestion, that like the actual way the body is working is to have digested the food that you've eaten already, processed it and excreted it before you bring in more food. Otherwise, literally you are full of shit. Like your bowels and your body are full of more than one meal's worth. Okay. Well, I do daily enemas. I know this is strange. But that's
You
the purpose
do?
is clean. Yes, I do. It was learned in India. So daily enema, daily neti pot, morning cleaning out all nasal passages, eye wash, cleaning
Wow.
out the eye cavity from all of. Okay, so
Wow.
cleaning the body physically, and shower, of course, would come later after yoga. Yoga wakes up the organs and connects you mind, body, spirit, but it also wakes up your inter organs and your internal organs. There's several things that are visible and invisible inside of our bodies that also need waking up. Coffee is not the answer to wake up. We need to do yoga. And then energy and opening all your energy centers and all that happens in yoga. So then when your body is clean physically, emotionally, and spiritually, then only you're ready to receive instruction, receive spiritual truths. So listening to a spiritual truth, reading a spiritual book or scripture, or listening to a podcast from a masterful person, a master of some sort that's teaching things that I can't get enough of. So then filling myself with that, the truths of the world, and then only is time to go out of that room, downstairs. Also devotion, prayer. Hello. Prayer, puja, whatever kind of connection that I want to have with divine, with God, happens. And then I go downstairs, have my Ayurvedic herbs for the morning, and make my shake for the morning, and have coffee. And that's about 7:00.
7:00.
7:00.
Well,
I'm
so
like, it would take me till 1:30 to clean to get all the things done.
yeah.
How long does it take to do the morning routine for you?
If I get up at 4:30, which is the usual, then I have the 2.5 hours. The 2 hours is usually,
Wow.
but I can always shorten parts of the routine. Instead of doing it for an hour of yoga or 45 minutes of yoga, I can do a half an hour. I can do 20 minutes. So if for some reason I do get up later than usual, like if I get up closer to 5 instead, then some part of it might just be altered, or just, and meditation, because meditation is so healing. And that's what's in my field lately, is like the only connection that trumps everything in this life is to sit in silence and meditation. So I've tried to make more time for that, or drop something else, drop the routine prayer or ways that I'm honoring God, and like enter in some of that time to just connect with that energy in silence and meditation. These are just things I've been learning, and there's so much more, and I just want to continue to do that.
So, if you were to tell me, Debbie, how to begin to meditate, because my mind will not be still, and I am trying, what advice would you give a rookie as myself?
I'm a rookie also, and I've just been told that don't let our egos enter in to tell us that we're supposed to be not having thoughts. It's not true. We are human, and we are not enlightened, so we will have thoughts. Their thoughts are incompletions, and what we do when those come in is to just let them pass through. Don't hold on to them. Don't fixate on them. Don't get attached to it. It's like, oh, nope, I'll think about that later. I'll tend to that later. Whatever the thoughts are, we can let them be and dismiss them. We can leave them at the foot of God. Oh, God, would go ahead and take that one too. Go ahead and take that one too. You can leave them at the feet of your guru, whatever you can. But the judgment of that, it's that meditation is, trust me, we are God. God is there. He knows us. He is us. Those thoughts are coming from him also. And so there's nothing wrong happening, but just continue to persevere, I think, is like everything, right? Just persevering in, setting aside that time.
Now, do you play music? Do you lie down? Do you sit up? How do you do this?
I've been trying to do in total just silence, but yes, you can do guided meditation. There's just so many different kinds. I was specifically talking about just silence for me. But yeah, I've done multiple meditations that are for specific things, just whatever helps you to detach from your thoughts. So some people do appreciate sometimes they'll have you center yourself on breathing. So that works for me, is to remove
hard.
myself from my brain. But
yeah, that's very hard for me.
I feel you.
And my mind, and I don't know if it's true, but I was diagnosed years ago with attention deficit disorder. And so the inside of my brain is like a ping pong table with the ball going like this and this, and no, not really completing one thought before I'm on another thought. Do you meditate today?
I do once a week.
ooh, that's
Once a
So
awesome.
week.
I go for a hike every week, and well, ideally on the top of mountain. I'm just
Yes.
gonna be in the total
Beautiful.
silent and
Beautiful.
just express my gratitude for my
That's
family,
beautiful.
for my friends, for my work, and also the environment I'm surrounded by, including nature and everything.
Wow.
That helped
That's
me
good.
to calm down and ground it and bring myself back to the present. It's only once a week, but it's
That's
something.
awesome.
That's awesome, though, that you have such a way of doing it. And I think Debbie, letting go of the being in the conscious moment, I think is so important. I'm reading a lot about that and have listened to a lot of podcasts lately about tomorrow will take care of itself. We know that. And the only really thing that we have to think about is right now. And to me, that seems virtually impossible today.
Yeah.
But in a month, maybe not. In 6 weeks, maybe
Yeah.
not. I think that's a great way to start feeling better. And we can sit around and bellyache and complain about, oh, my head's so full of this or full of that, or I can't relax, I can't go to sleep, I can't do this and I can't do that. What are we doing for ourselves to naturally
Yeah.
get into the state, just a natural state of health and a natural state of being and waking up and realizing that we're a new person. We're not the same person we were yesterday. We've shed that skin. We're someone else today. And I think that's such a beautiful way of looking at it. It's true.
And I feel
And
you,
also,
Victoria, though, because at the beginning, like, it was so difficult for me to meditate as well. Just like, my idea and my thoughts are popping up in my head and it's, keep running around in my brain. And it was so difficult for me to shut down my thoughts and everything. But I think that's not the way we should do a meditation, to shut down our thoughts. We just need to let it flow. But what helps the most for me, to go to nature to do it, because I can feel the life is so much bigger than our thoughts. And also, like, when I'm seeing the nature, like, I feel like my worries and my anything feels so much smaller than like what
That's
it
you
really
connecting with the
is.
universe. That's kind of
Yeah.
connecting with the universe. And they say even walking barefoot and grounding. And I used to do that when I lived in Belize. I would
Mm.
just ground my feet in the sand in the ocean. And oh, it was just the most fabulous feeling
it's
ever.
beautiful.
Yeah, I miss that.
Maybe you can
Oh, so
try that.
inspiring. I want to go
Yeah.
find some nature. It's true that actually helped me too, Tadao. Thank you for reminding me. I was listening also to the Power of Now book, which is a great book for this very topic. So listening to that in my ear while I took walks in nature, and it definitely helped me to stay in the present.
There's
What?
any easy practice that we can start today to cleanse, what would you recommend, Debbie?
Yes.
To be able to hold complete divine energy inside of us requires the vessel to be emptied and ready to hold that kind of frequency. So that whole concept is emptying ourselves out. Even spiritual teachers will say that, like, you have to empty yourself out in all ways. So however, whatever that looks like, the heavier foods we put inside our bodies, processing meat as an example takes 3 days to process.
Wow.
Fruits and vegetables process within hours. Okay. So if you just took that as an example, your body has been weighed down not only with the mass that's in it, but all of your body's energy is going towards what? Digestion and breaking down that food. So when the more our organs are worked, so if our heart's beating, more than it should, if our stomach is working hard, if our kidneys filtering more than it should by us putting pollutants in, the amount of stress or work our heart is doing, it contributes to aging. Like our organs will be overworked as aging. That's what aging is, apparently, as your organs are being overworked. So we're trying to help our body, mind, and spirit to live healthier, live longer, live lighter, right? So it's kind of interesting that all this conversation was around that today. So if that's like the cognition that we're always thinking is this contributing to lightness? Is this contributing to longevity, to my body working more efficiently and less less stress? Then yeah, it's all good.
It's a practice.
That didn't answer your question, but I think it's so personal. Journaling, is an emptying out.
It's just a lot of information over there. So I know. So I just need to find the best way for myself.
Yeah.
That's why I think the word light is used in so much spiritual teachings also, because it's, think physically light, think mentally light, think spiritually. What keeps us in that space of lightness is where it's at. Then we can be a light, right? Otherwise we're heavy, we're weighed down, and we're dark, right? It's that energy we were talking about with Victoria. So
that's amazing.
In a way, my body feels so light, but my mind or feelings has been very heavy these days. That's something I should work on for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think then you should think about that. What one way could you lighten up your being? And maybe it's more of those walks, or maybe it's
I need to
a
cut
different
the cords.
form. Cut those cords. Get that out on paper. Get it out in physical boxing or whatever.
I did this 2 weeks ago, a 72-hour fast with nothing but water, and then awesome. I ate one meal, 72 hours, and then I ate one meal.
I was like,
and then I was
awesome.
like.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do it again. So I ate one light meal, and then I did another 72 hours. Just the lightness of not eating heavy food or junk food or whatever. The water is a bit boring for me because I'm not a big water person, of course. But anyway, my mind was much more clear from fasting. And I just had a better sense of being, if that makes any sense, of well-being, just a better sense of well-being. And I think it's because we do clog our body with so much, not that we overeat or not that we eat too, but it's the things that we're eating that are so heavy, so yeah, I guess I'll just love green and start drinking berries and, all the things. And you have energy, because I have no energy lately. I feel like I'm drained when I wake up, I'm drained when I go to bed, and I don't have the energy to even do anything that I should be doing.
Pretty much how I feel these days. We need to
learn
from
do something
Debbie
about it. Tadao, we have to watch Debbie and do what Debbie does. What would Debbie do? She would not eat that, I promise you.
Oh no, y'all are going to end up hating me.
No.
What Debbie do is your new podcast channel name.
Right. What would Debbie
What Debbie do?
Yeah.
That's what my dad used to call me, Debbie do.
Debbie does detox.
Let's change the reputation of the name Debbie and make it good and clean.
Exactly.
Light.
Detox. That's why I said Debbie does detox.
Detox Debbie.
I just want to follow your day, what it looks like.
I don't think we could keep up, Tadao.
I know.
I think we might sit in the recliner and watch her follow her day.
Dude, do you know how far from this I was before all of this happened to me too? It's like there's not me doing any of it, just like there won't be you doing any of it. The fact that you ended up feeling like you do today was a course of miracles, one moment to the next, right? People have told you things, people tell me things all day long, and some of them like hit me differently, and I end up following is all that outside of me guidance, but it's also inside of me.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that you and I are feeling it at the same time is not a coinky-dink. It is something bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's why you're in the US right now.
I think so. I need to channel with a higher vibration.
Absolutely. Yes, you're here for a reason. We all are.
Hey, it's Debbie. Join us each week on Tuesdays by clicking the subscribe button. While you're at it, give us a like. We'll see you next week. Thank you for being on this journey, and keep being your most authentic self.